Hello, welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and this is Richard. Most of the time you'll hear the old saying, not out of the woods yet. But I'm actually going to reverse that, and I'm going to say I'm not quite in the woods yet, but I'm getting close. For most of you, you guys know that I use nature and the woods as a medication to get over depression and a bunch of my other issues. And so I'm not going to say I'm not out of the woods yet. I will say that I'm not quite in the woods yet, but I'm getting really close. I am feeling better today. I think it's Thursday. I'm not 100% positive, but I do think it's Thursday. I don't know what day. It's towards the end of the month. But I'm feeling better. I'm dressed today. Yeah, I stayed up all night and slept most of the day, but I don't know. I just need to find something to do that will encourage me to not sleep all day. So anyway, I've been thinking, and I really don't consider my issues horribly bad. And what I mean by that is that there is positives, maybe few, but I try to look at it in a positive manner with my bipolar, my depression, paranoia. I have not been diagnosed with attention deficit. The doctor told me that that's something that they generally only just diagnose kids with. But I do have issues with sticking to particular things. As I described before, I get distracted quite easily. I don't know if that's part of it. I really don't even know. But anyway, a lot of very intelligent and influential people throughout history had the same problems I do. Most of the greatest artists on the planet were psychos in one way or another. Some of the greatest people on the planet were bipolar, were depressed. I don't know what it is with the way we think, but I think we're more creative in a lot of ways than sane people. And as a matter of fact, from my research, and I'm not saying this for sure because I wasn't there, but from my research, one of the most influential reasons that our species have invaded the entire planet was because of people that had attention deficit syndrome. So one of the theories, among many, but one of the theories is that groups of people just got tired of sitting around in the same spot and got antsy and had to get up and move. That's the reason. That's one of the reasons that we populated the entire planet, is because our species just can't sit still. And at one point in our history, being attention deficit was a positive for us. I think one of the problems with people like myself who have these problems, they're considered problems today. But thousands and thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, who knows how far back it goes, but back to the dawning of man itself, the kind of personality I have would have been a great asset to the people of that time period. Now it's just a problem. We've evolved and developed different societies. We've evolved and developed different ways of living and of surviving. And people like myself, I think, maintained more of a primitive mindset. And to be totally honest, I like that. I like that. It gives me a connection. It gives me a sense of a connection to our ancestors that a lot of you normal people don't have, I think. People like myself are interested in a lot of different things than people that are considered normal. And I attribute that to my overwhelming desire for martial arts, for my survival skills, for my religious beliefs. As a matter of fact, most of my mindsets are set in the past. I don't have the same mindset that of what are considered normal people today. I just don't, and I don't want it. Honestly, if somebody were to tell me I can cure, and I'll use that word cure, I could cure you and make you a normal person, I wouldn't do it. What I go through is mentally painful, physically painful, it's stressful, it's burdensome, not only to myself, but to the people around me. And I know this, but I just got to embrace it. I mean, I've tried and tried to embrace it, and I do, up until it hits me to the point where I crash, which is where I've been for the last 2 weeks. But I do feel better. I have done a couple videos while I was beginning my depression. I did bits and pieces of one while I was actually in my depression, and now I'm coming out of it. So I just hope that I can get myself outside, because getting active and being outside will fix this. I know it will. It always does. It's just a matter of getting myself out there and doing it. The weather's been kind of crappy. It's really cold and it's been raining constantly. But I can't let that stop me. I just got to get outside. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that I can get my sleeping schedule back to some semblance of regularity for modern man to some degree, because I do want to get up and get out, even though I don't right now have access to a vehicle on a regular basis, because as everybody knows, my wife works 6 days a week out of town and she takes the vehicle, so I am stuck at the house. And that's really not true. I'm not stuck at the house. I'm stuck in town unless I want to walk out of town, which I could do. I could do that. But wherever I'm going to go, I have to walk. The closest woods to me are behind my house, but they don't belong to me. So going in those woods aren't necessarily a good thing all the time. The closest public woods to me are about 3.5 miles down the road. So I may have to just get up and do it. So I've been wanting to get out in the shed and get all of my survival gear out and start organizing it and getting my fishing pole out. I may just try to force myself to do that tonight or tomorrow, and maybe just take a walk down the road for 3.5, 4 miles, do a little bit of fishing if I can get myself up early enough. So anyway, I'm getting better. Thank you everybody for all your positive comments. Enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.